We know that you are putting your best effort into serving the residents in your community. But as we move through our daily routine, we can be causing harmful stress to our backs without even knowing it. This video training will show you how to minimize the risk of back injury. You are a vital member of our team. We care about you and your health. You only have one back. Please protect it.
We all play key roles in making our communities pleasant for our residents. And much of what we do involves significant physical activity. Our days are filled with bending, lifting, transferring, generally doing whatever it takes to serve our residents. Thankfully, our bodies were designed to perform all these tasks when we use our bodies the right way. That's why each of us needs to be aware of the risks that come with improper lifting or moving, and then learn how to avoid injury in every situation that we face on the job.
Most back and neck injuries that occur on the job are a result of lifting hazards. Examples of these are lifting excessive weight, lifting with an awkward posture, and repetitive motion while doing tasks. Over time, these movements can cause injuries known as cumulative trauma disorders. This means that the repetitive wear and tear on muscles and bones can eventually show up as pain or injury in the hands, wrists, elbows, shoulders, neck, and back. We are faced with many lifting hazards that we must be aware of. Assisting residents can potentially put our bodies in awkward positions. We work with residents whose movement can be unpredictable. Sometimes we work in tight places, which can increase the possibility of a back injury. And we are at additional risk because much of the time we are working independently. Now, let's explore some valuable guidelines each of us need to follow to avoid back injuries.
Think about the car you drive. A car can run like a magnificent machine if it's been well cared for. For example, if you don't change your oil for 3 years, you may not notice any problem, but one day it could break down without any notice. It's the same for our bodies. You might continue working for months or even years, practicing the habits of improper lifting and never notice any problems. Then, suddenly, you could wake up one day with serious pain that needs major medical attention. We can avoid this just by practicing good procedures all day and every day as we care for residents.
Our bodies are built to sustain large workloads, but only if we use them properly. The 3 guidelines that will give you the best chance of avoiding back problems are: practice safe body mechanics, keep physically fit, and maintain good body posture. We'll begin with posture and its importance to back safety. Good posture puts the vertebrae and the surrounding muscles in the proper position. This allows the back and all the parts connected to it to perform the way they were designed to. Here's a simple technique to align your posture. Take a comfortable stance and stand up straight. Head up, shoulders back, chest out, tummy in, buttocks tucked. Next, tighten your muscles all over your body. Then relax them with a gentle shaking motion. Allow your body to adjust to a neutral position. This means your spine is not bent or twisted in any direction. The neutral position is the safest position for your body during work. Now it's your turn. Practice putting your body into the neutral position.
Think of an exotic sports car. It works beautifully cruising down the street, but if you take it off-road, you're going to be looking at some major repairs. The same holds true for our body mechanics. We want to operate our bodies the way they were designed to perform. Bending and twisting our bodies the wrong way is not only inefficient, it's potentially very harmful. Remember, we want to practice safety first at all times. This means learning to use proper body mechanics during every activity.
Using good body mechanics means keeping your body in the neutral position while performing your duties. This means minimizing bending or twisting and using your muscles efficiently. These are the safe movements that you want to maintain at all times. Now we'll cover how to sustain proper body mechanics in any situation. A common and often costly error is bending at the waist when lifting. This puts harmful stress on the back. To maintain good posture, bend the hips and knees. This allows you to use the large muscles in the legs while minimizing strain on your vulnerable back muscles. Avoid lifting items that are too far away from your body. Notice the strain on the back and neck areas. If you lift 50 pounds with your arms away from your body, it can increase the force of the load on your back to 500 pounds. Always put yourself in a good situation where the load is close to your body. While lifting, contract your stomach muscles. If your body mechanics are good, you should feel the weight in your legs and not in your back or neck. When moving anything, avoid quick, rough, or jerky movement. Smooth, deliberate motion is the best way to achieve safe movement. Another common error is twisting your body. Twisting misaligns your spine. This can make your back and neck vulnerable to injury. Avoid the temptation to do any task that will put your body in an awkward position. Take the time to adjust and allow yourself to use good body mechanics during every activity. Reaching introduces many potentially hazardous movements. Overextending in any direction puts great stress on your body. Avoid reaching hazards by taking an extra moment to think, plan, and prepare. Organize materials ahead of time for easy access. That way you avoid needless risk to you or the resident. Here's an important rule for you to remember. Do not lift objects that are above your shoulders or below your waist. You can see how this high object is causing harmful strain. The box is above his shoulders. His back and neck muscles are required to complete the lift. You need to adjust your body so that while you are lifting, the object is within this safe area between your shoulders and waist. Using a step stool is one way to enable proper body mechanics. Raising his height puts his shoulders above the box. Now he is able to properly use his arm muscles. As we learned earlier, flexing the knees and hips will lower the waist to the level of the object. This puts the object within the safe zone and makes the lift a safe one. When performing tasks on a platform, keep the working surface slightly higher than waist level. Repeatedly working on a surface below the waist requires awkward posture and will cause unnecessary back strain. Pushing and pulling can also be hard on your back. When pulling, stay close to the load. Don't lean forward. Use both arms. Tighten your stomach muscles. Push whenever possible instead of pulling. When pushing, do not extend your arms and lean into the load. Always stay close to the load. Use both hands. And maintain good posture. Don't lift a load by yourself that is too heavy for you. Find a way to lighten the load so that you can lift it properly. And when necessary, always arrange for help from a partner. Never attempt to be a hero by lifting too much weight on your own.
Lifting and transferring residents often requires complex movements that can be harmful to your back. We've found that following a simple acronym, ACT or ACT, is the best way to avoid injury. A. Assess the situation. C. Create the right setting. And T. Transfer the resident. So in every lift and transfer, remember to ACT.
We'll begin with the letter A. Assess. Assess your surroundings before you begin. Identify hazards like clutter and crowding. Assess the resident's footwear. Is she wearing shoes or slippers with non-skid soles that won't slip during the transfer? Assess the load. Is there more weight than you're capable of moving? Will you need help? Finally, assess the resident's ability to help you. Observe her size, health, physical limitations, and impairments such as poor hearing or vision. The resident's ability to help can make the difference between a manageable load and a hazardous load.
There's nothing to worry about. I'm going to be right here with you.
Okay.
Create enough space for safely transferring the resident. Decrease clutter and move obstacles out of the way. Create stability by making sure the bed or chair is secure and unmovable. Finally, place equipment where it can be easily reached. If a wheelchair is used, lock the brakes and remove the armrest nearest to the bed. Usually, it's best to remove both footrests so they won't trip you up. Using a belt can be useful for extra security when transferring. Explain to her how you will be using the belt. Make sure the transfer belt is snug but comfortable for her. Leave enough slack for you to get a good handhold on both sides. If capable, your resident can help in the transfer by pushing off from the bed. Now position your body. One technique is to put one leg between the resident's legs. This allows extra maneuverability during the lift. Get in close to the resident and hold on to the transfer belt. Keep your knees and hips flexed and stay low. On signal, move her to a standing position by pulling on the belt and straightening your knees. Continually speak with the resident during any lifting or transferring. Verbally guiding and reassuring her will reduce her anxiety and enable her to cooperate as much as possible. Pivot toward the chair by taking small steps and staying close to her. Don't twist your body. Move her until the backs of her knees are touching the wheelchair. Ask her to reach back for the arm of her chair. Have her bend her knees and lower her by bending your knees.
Everything okay? Are you all right?
Fine, thank you.
Okay.
Now for another lift scenario. Move your resident to the edge of the couch or chair to avoid unnecessary reaching. Move his head and shoulders forward. Then, move the lower body. Help him to move forward if he needs it. Position your body. In this technique, you use your feet to secure his feet and brace your knees against his. This position gives you more ability to stabilize his body during the lift. Get in close to the resident and grab him under his arms. If pushing off the couch with his hands is not a good option, have him hold onto your arms or back, but do not let him hang onto your neck. With some residents, it may help to rock back and forth to gain momentum. Move him to a standing position by straightening your knees. If he feels dizzy or for any reason you don't feel the transfer should continue, bend your knees and allow the resident to sit back down. Then reassess the situation and get help if necessary. Sometimes 2 people are necessary to complete a transfer, but good body mechanics are required to complete this transfer as well. Move in close to the resident and grasp her under her arms. Put your feet next to hers to avoid slipping. Bend your knees and keep your back in the neutral position. On signal, lift with your legs and move her to a standing position. Use small steps to move her to the chair. Bend your knees and hips and lower her down. Make sure she is not dizzy and that she feels comfortable.
Thank you. Feel better? Okay.
Now we will look at a pivot transfer from chair to chair using the transfer belt. Place the wheelchair close to the other chair and put the belt on the resident with a snug fit. As with any transfer, it is helpful to communicate with the resident through every phase of the transfer.
I'm going to tighten it now. Can you scoot up a little bit? All right. Now, what we're going to do is transfer you to the chair over here. Okay? I want you to put your hands here. Can you put your hands here? And I'm going to grab you here. Okay? Now, at the count of 3, we're going to get up, okay? Are you all right? 1, 2, 3. Okay, now you're going to take a step back, another step back, bend your knees, and we're going to sit down on the chair. Good job. You did an excellent job.
Thank you.
When moving a resident up in bed, the same principles apply. Have her help as much as she is able to. Stay low and shift your weight while maintaining good posture. As always, avoid any twisting motion. Slide her up as she pushes down on her feet. Encourage the use of safety bars whenever possible. These give the resident more stability, and he will be putting less strain on you. Placing the belt around residents can also be very helpful when taking walks. Hold the back of the belt with one hand and grasp the resident's hand with the other. This gives you a reliable hold as you walk, and it will help the resident feel more secure and confident.
Hi, Mr. Johnson.
When using a mechanical lift, first greet the resident and explain what you will be doing. Next, wash your hands. Before performing the transfer, close the resident's door. Place the harness next to the resident. Roll him onto his side and tuck the harness under his body. Then roll him onto the other side and spread the harness evenly across the bed.
Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ask him to fold his arms. Carefully roll the lift under the bed. Lock both wheels. Then, lower the lift down to the resident. Attach the harness straps to the lift.
Are you ready to go up, Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Okay.
When you are sure the harness is secure, begin raising the resident. Throughout the lift, speak to the resident to assure him that everything is going smoothly.
Johnson, are you comfortable?
Yes.
Is your neck all right?
Fine.
Can we keep lifting?
Yes, you can.
All right.
When the lift is fully elevated, unlock the wheels and slowly roll him into position.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, we're gonna spin you around. All right. You all right?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
Use the lever to spread the legs and push it up to the chair.
Okay.
Lock both wheels.
We're going to put you down now, Mr. Johnson. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Lower him down and grasp the harness to guide him into the chair.
Yeah, that's better.
You all right, Mr. Johnson?
Fine.
Good.
I think my bottom, but
Gonna pick up the step.
Unhook the harness. Unlock the wheels and pull the lift away from the chair. Lean the resident
Johnson, we're
forward
gonna take the pad
and
from
pull the
underneath
harness
you now,
out
okay?
from underneath him. And finally, make sure he is seated
Mr. Johnson, are
comfortably
you
in the
feeling
chair.
okay?
doing fine.
Are you ready to go?
After
Ma'am.
completing the transfer, wash your hands. Now let's look at some care scenarios. Assess each situation for potential hazards for back injury. The disc will pause after each scenario. List the hazards and discuss them.
Have your hand and I'll help you.
Thank you. Oh.
When assisting residents onto the bus, it is better to assist them from behind on the ground level rather than having to bend over and assist from above. If you are in a situation where you are already positioned in the bus and need to provide assistance, bend at the knees to get your body low. Secure your body by holding the railing with one hand.
Mr. Massey? Mr. Massey, are you okay?
Instinctively, we want to try and catch the resident and stop the fall. But if the resident's weight is more than you can handle, serious injuries can result for you and the resident. When you grasp the resident, don't try to stop the fall. Instead, gently help him make a controlled fall. Put one leg underneath him as a support and get in close. As he slides down, bend your hips and knees and guide him to the ground. Watch his head to make sure it doesn't strike anything. If necessary, get help to lift the resident from the floor. The resident had to maneuver himself to the couch while being supported with an insecure one-arm hold. Then, the team member supported the resident's weight while bending his back and keeping his legs straight. This put excessive strain on his back. When doing a transfer, remember to act. A. Assess the environment and condition of the resident. Next, C. Create the right setting. And T. Do a proper transfer with good body mechanics. Putting his arms around the resident makes the hold more secure. He is also better able to move with the resident. They take small steps to the couch. Then the team member bends his knees and hips and keeps his back in the neutral position while lowering the resident. Now watch again. The team member does his part well. But what could he have asked the resident to do to make the transfer even more secure? Remember, have the resident hold your arms or back during the transfer, but do not let her hold onto your neck. Remember to push rather than pull carts, wheelchairs, or other heavy objects whenever possible. Pushing puts less strain on your back than pulling. Also resist twisting motions, which can also injure your back. Strong muscles, limber joints, and overall fitness can keep you from injuring your back. A good exercise program includes aerobic activity for at least 20 minutes 3 times per week, muscle strengthening exercises, and flexibility exercises. One very good aerobic activity is brisk walking while wearing shoes with good cushioning. Swimming can also be good. Check with your doctor before starting any program. And consult a fitness expert on how many sets and repetitions you should do with each exercise. Exercises that strengthen your upper body, abdomen, pelvis, and thighs will help to protect your more vulnerable back muscles. Here are some exercises you can do at home. First, the arms. We'll begin with a warm-up. Make small circles with your arms straight out. Bend your elbows and bring your fists to your shoulders. After several repetitions, bring your arms and hands together in front of you at chest height with your elbows bent. Then, bring them down to the chest level. Push-ups are excellent for arm strength. If you are not ready for floor push-ups, begin against a wall. Bend your elbows to 90 degrees and push up. With more arm strength, you can progress to pushing from a platform or table with your legs and back straight. As your arm strength grows, you can move to push-ups on the floor while on your knees with your back straight. Finally, the most rigorous push-ups are on the floor with your body straight. Abdomen. Lie on the floor with your knees bent, your feet flat on the floor, and your arms bent at the elbows. Raise straight upwards from the shoulders, keeping your head parallel to the floor so that you are looking straight up at the ceiling. Keep your lower back against the floor. You should feel your abdominal muscles tightening up. Now, continue the exercise with your legs up, your hips bent at a 90-degree angle, and your knees flexed. Next, from a kneeling position, extend one arm and the opposite leg. Repeat with the other arm and leg. Keep your arms and legs parallel to the ground. Now for legs. Bend at the hips and knees until your thighs are parallel to the floor. Hold for as long as you can. Start with 10 to 15 seconds. Now we'll focus on increasing the flexibility of your back. Let's begin with the neck. In a neutral posture, with your head facing straight forward, turn your head to the side and hold before returning to the start. Repeat on the other side. Next, bring your ear toward your shoulder and hold before returning to start. Repeat on the other side. Now, lower body. Bring one knee into your chest with gentle pressure below the knee and hold for 8 to 10 seconds. Repeat with the other leg. Then repeat with both knees pressed toward your chest and hold before returning to the start. Hamstrings. Extend one leg with your toe up. Bend at the waist with your head up. Repeat on the other side. Do not reach toward your toe with your hand. Slowly bend at the waist with your head up. With more flexibility, you can advance to placing your heel on a chair and do the exercise the same way. Remember, consult a fitness expert on how many sets and repetitions you should do with each exercise.